I actually don't know what I did before the advent of these phones. Every little bit of information. Bev, where's my letters? Thank you. Are we on yet? The floor manager's sitting there going, yes, we're on. You're wasting time. Get it started. When we were growing up, this is letter 1. When we were growing up, he ruined our neighbourhood by sleeping with all the neighbours' wives. Nice chap. That's his dad. Wants to get rid of him. Second letter tonight. Malcolm Turnbull, Julie Bishop, backstabbed Tony Abbott to steal the Liberal leadership. And now we have another Prime Minister who displays poor ethics for the entire world to see. Bullshit. I'm delighted Malcolm's there. And the last letter tonight. We as a Western nation should be sympathetic to the plight of persecuted Christians. Yes, I agree. And everybody else as well. We'll see what the panel has to say in about... I'm not allowed to say that anymore, am I? No. In a few seconds anyway. So sit back because Sweet and Sour is about to start. We'll see you then with all the panellists. See you soon.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
After their mates, as they do. Good evening everyone, welcome to Sweet and Sour. Lovely to have your company. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour and a terrific load of panellists as well. Starting with someone who's probably too tired before he even gets going. What do we mean? How's your telethon training going, mate?
G'day, Gary.
Hello, Matty.
Fantastic. Last time we spoke, we got through 6 hours of training.
And now?
Friday just gone, we got through 12 hours. So the next one's the big event at Telethon, the 16th and 18th of October, 24 hours non-stop on an ergo grinder.
So did you do 12 hours on an ergo grinder or something else?
No, on the ergo grinder, train with.
Okay.
So we never do the 24 hours until we do the event because you would never do it again.
Did you get any more money in before
Yeah, it's
the
been
event?
fantastic. I remember we spoke about...
It's growing?
Yeah, it's growing, and the people of WA just keep putting your hands in your pockets for such a great cause for the kids of Telethon.
Terrific. And anybody in the eastern states who want to donate to the Western Australian underprivileged kids as well, yeah. Please do. Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
Do you watch telethon? Did you grow up with telethon like
I did. When I was a kid, I used to watch it, yeah.
And now? Too busy, huh? We go out on the Saturday.
Yeah, I'm too busy doing karaoke. Come on.
Good to have you, Jan. Did you grow up with telethon?
I did,
Yeah.
and I would always try to stay up to see,
The stripper.
Stuart Wagstaff take his clothes off.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Stuart Wagstaff.
I only did that once.
But I
know
always
what year
fell
that was,
asleep.
Susie.
That was a long time. Or see Johnny
Did they have
Farnham.
Johnny Jackson on there one time?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
When Robert Holmes
And Stevie, didn't they have Stevie Wonder on
Stevie
one?
Wonder?
Yes.
I didn't see that
A lot
one.
of people.
No, you probably weren't born.
Actually, I can tell a story. Do you know Cameron Mitchell from High Chaparral?
Yes.
Well, when he
I
came to
don't know him
telethon,
personally, but no.
I took little Basil Zempoulis, his first time up to Channel 7, and Basil says to me, still to this day, who was that man that rode in to the studio when we went to telethon? There you go. That was his first time to Channel 7. Now he works there and he's got a huge career. Hello, Glenn.
It's
And he's
funny,
not
my
little.
little Basil Zempoulis has become huge as well. It's amazing how that happens. I've been training away, Barry,
it's
just
Basil
like Matt,
Fawlty Towers.
training away. Training.
What are you training for?
Brain training.
How's that going?
Well, for example, try this. Say silk really fast 5 times.
Silk, 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 silk.
What do cows drink?
Water.
Oh,
Smart
see? See?
Your old choice.
Yeah,
You say
well,
carrot. Anyway,
yeah.
And
Well, you say
what's the
carrot.
question?
Yeah.
carrot.
Okay.
Wow.
First letter, here we go. Dad's bad. Hello, Sweet and Sour. It's my poor excuse for a father. He's the most selfish man ever to walk the earth, a product of the free-loving 60s. He's not young anymore, but he's still the same self-absorbed prick that he's always been. My mum threw him out years ago and then for some stupid reason let him come back into her life and consequently our lives. I have a family of my own now, but I can't stomach him anymore. He's never been any good. He wants to claim everything for himself. When we were growing up, he ruined our neighbourhood by sleeping with the neighbours' wives. He slept with some of my teachers and even my friends' mums. He's awful and he made it awful for everyone. He ruined his own career because of identical behaviour in his own workplace. He was always a handsome man, but just had some sort of misplaced man quest going on. He's tried to do it again, but this time with one of my daughter's friends. She's 22 and he's 72. I've had enough. I want my mum and my siblings in my life, but not him. Mum's had enough stress in her life, but has chosen to ignore or maybe accept his behaviour, but she really needs to get away from him too. He's just a bloodsucker. What do I need to do here, please? It comes to us from James of Brunswick in Victoria Glen.
Look, I think it's great that James didn't put his surname, but I'm going to out him right here. And look, we all feel bad that your dad's Jeffrey Elston. But there's really only one thing to do. It's the mature thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Whenever he's there, tell everyone to pretend that they can't see or hear him. So basically just don't acknowledge his presence at any time. Pretend he's like a ghost that you don't see or hear. And then I think things will work themselves out, because basically he'll end up leaving.
Susie.
Well, I really appreciate James' writing, and having been married to an absolute dickhead who my kids can't stand, I have to say, James, part of the healing and getting over having a crap father is saying I had a crap father and not feeling guilty about it, but also understanding that you need to support your mum and realise that just to never let your behaviour become like his, that's one thing, and also to realise that your mum's probably feeling insecure and lonely, and that's why she's taking him back. And maybe it's a time for you and your siblings to get together with your mum and say that we love you, we support you, whatever you do, but we're really going to be here to support you without Dad because he's a dickhead.
He's always there though.
Yeah, well, she needs the courage, she needs the support and the courage and the strength to know that she can say go away without feeling lonely and not hurting her kids.
Why does a woman, after all that behaviour, take a man back? Any idea?
Maybe he was excellent in the bed, in the
Because he
in
tells
the bed.
her.
Because
He
he tells-
tells her that he's so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're the one for me. You're the best thing. I love you. Whatever. He tells her. He draws her back in. It's like.
And
you
now
know,
he's still doing the same sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Amanda, come on in.
Well, I think he does sound slightly despicable.
Slightly.
However, he's 72 and he's still
Doing it.
Exactly.
What's he? Hugh Hefner as a dad, that'd be
Well,
unreal.
what's his secret?
You're looking at me? Oh,
That's all he's ever focused on. You don't need
I don't
to
know
see-
him personally, but
He must be pretty smooth.
or sleazy.
He's
He's a
sleazy.
No, I reckon he must be
That's
pretty
not
smooth to
smooth.
bed all of these women. He must have something going,
And then
working
also
for
to
him.
talk his way back
just
in.
a
He's a
focus.
snake. He's
He's
an
a disgusting-
absolute
I mean, you've got to feel
Great.
for the kids here, right?
I
Because
feel so-
obviously,
I feel
if their
for the
dad's
kids.
portraying this Hugh Hefner type lifestyle in front of them
Yeah.
and embarrassing in front of their mother, disrespecting their mother firstly, and then and the friends, surely.
He's no Hugh Hefner. He's ruined his
No, but the
career.
poor- yeah.
He's ruined their lives. He's
And
ruined their
and he
school
need- and
lives.
Maybe
they
he's a
have-
sex addict and he
He's
needs
a
help.
sex addict.
Go
He
and
needs
get help
help.
somewhere else, but leave your kids alone. They
doesn't
have had
want help.
enough.
He enjoys
I-
it.
Surely discretion has to play its part here. Obviously, he can find those women that allow him to play that part because they're everywhere. But surely not to throw it into the kids'
He's
face.
a predator. He works out what their insecurities are
He
and
does.
muscles his
And
way
that's
in.
how that's
There's-
why the
there's
mother's
plenty
still
of
there.
people
But we'll
like
just
that,
say
men and women.
If he's addicted to sex or he enjoys women's company and gets back the same pleasure back, is he really all that?
No, he's not.
It's
He's
how he's
hurting
portraying
everybody.
it.
Using
He's hurting
people.
everybody.
He's using.
It's how he's portraying it.
We're going to go. We're going to be talking about this right through the break. And if you want to give us your opinion, you can now Facebook it or tweet it as well. So send it in and we'll put it up on our site as well. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Malcolm Turnbull and Julie Bishop and whether they backstabbed Tony Abbott. I don't think so.
Love is in the air.
When we come back, more of Sweet and Sour. Don't go away.
Have you?
It's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Amazing. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter and have it discussed by the panel, please send it to the address that's appearing on your screen now, which is letters@sweetandsour.net.au. Have a look at our website, which is sweetandsour.net.au. Give us a like on Facebook or send us a tweet. There it is. or have a look on some backstage photos. What did you say? Backstage? What do you say? Behind the
backstage.
scenes. There you go. And for everyone that does send us a letter, we are going to send you to the movies courtesy of Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. And the movie we're sending you to this week, there you go, Macbeth. I ran out and saw it during the week. Fantastic.
Was it violent?
Is it?
Yes, it was very violent. And Lady Macbeth is fantastic.
Oh.
And you know how you hate seeing movies because, oh no, I studied this at school. It's not like that.
No.
Well, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Very different. Here we go, dear panel. No wonder Aussies are sick to death of politicians. Malcolm Turnbull and Julie Bishop backstabbed Tony Abbott to steal the Liberal leadership, and now we have another Prime Minister who displays poor ethics for the entire world to see. I'm with Cory Bernardi in that I believe all this pathetic behaviour demonstrates that it's time we had a new Conservative Party of virtue representing traditional Liberal values now that the Liberals, One Nation and Palmer United have all basically imploded or just completely lost their way. Funny how they lump that all together. How could anyone support Turnbull after all this treachery? Jocelyn of Claremont in Western Australia. Matt, do you reckon Turnbull and Julie Bishop backstabbed Tony Abbott?
Well, I think politics in Australia has become a laughing stock of the world. You know, if you talk about a banana republic, I'm sure we're there. But there's another twist to this. There's going to be another twist. Like, you think about it growing up, how many prime ministers do you remember? You can name them probably because, you know, there was very little. We've had 4 in the last 4 years. Kids today have got no idea about politics, no idea what's going on in the country. And I think Julie Bishop, dare I say it, would make a very good prime minister. And I think she is the one that's trying to get in the back door.
Ooh, maybe. I must say, I'm actually delighted that we've gone through this whole run and finally got to Malcolm Turnbull, who I think deserves to be a leader for this nation. And I blame the ALP for giving it on a plate to Tony Abbott in the first place because Julia knifed Kevin and started this whole thing off. No respect over there. Amanda, how do you see the things play out?
I actually really like what Matt said when he said that he thinks Julie's coming up for PM, and I would love to see a female Prime Minister. Well, one that I actually like.
What's wrong with the other Julie? She was lovely.
I didn't mind Julia.
I sat
when
next
she
to
was
the rugby
there.
league grand final once and explained the rules to her.
I didn't ever
Very
warm
lovely.
to her.
Was she interested?
Didn't ever warm to
She actually was.
Okay.
And I found her quite
Gorgeous. She's really lovely and engaging.
strangely attractive.
Oh, if you like that kind of thing.
If you like that kind of thing.
What's that kind of thing?
Hang on, let's get back to topic. We're talking about rugby and everything all of a sudden. Okay, how do you see the political landscape? Are you inspired by it at all? Or do you want to step away from it because of the machinations that we've seen over the last
There does
few
seem to be a
years?
lot of backstabbing going on. It'd be nice if people just sort of respected each other a bit more. And I do think that if the people have voted one person in, then it's up to the people to kick them out.
But that's not how our system works. Not at all.
Well,
How do you see it?
I think it's I think this is just part of good governance. The fact that we had someone who actually wasn't succeeding and we needed to change. I also think it's good to reflect that in the early 1900s there was a period where we had about 4 prime ministers. In 1910, 1925
Watson,
or so.
Cook.
Yeah, there was a number of them. So
earlier
it's
than
not
that.
actually. It might have been later. I can't remember history now. But it's not that uncommon. I think Cory Bernardi is a complete joke, and I actually find his commentary embarrassing and divisive. He's conservative. It promotes racism and vitriol and hatred. And it takes us back to a time in the 1950s and the White Australia policy, and I just find it very disappointing. In fact, I did read the Sydney Morning Herald yesterday that they said that Cory Bernardi was actually so disgusted that Malcolm Turnbull's been put in that he was actually thinking of leaving the party. And I can imagine them all going, yes! But he didn't. He's decided not to.
But he didn't.
But I did go on his website when I read this letter, and I just want to say, Jocelyn, you should actually go on his website because there's some fantastic books written by Cory. The Beltway, No Left Turn, The Right Way. And thank God for the likes of Malcolm Turnbull because I think it's fantastic. We've got a centrist sort of moderate leader who hopefully can
articulate
lead
and able
take people along and is
and
enthusiastic.
a proven achiever.
And also telling people about the positive things, not the negativity.
And my view is he didn't backstab anybody.
I don't think he backstabbed.
Tony asked for 6 months. He's got his 6 months. Julie didn't backstab anybody. Malcolm didn't backstab anybody. And this is how politics plays out. And maybe we're just back to a John Howard where we'll see someone in power for a little bit longer after the fiasco of what we've just had.
I think it was a mature change of leadership rather than what the Labor Party did.
Glenn?
I think you're right. I don't think anyone was backstabbed. I think they were front stabbed. Julie said she gave Tony the tap on the shoulder. Yep, the little tap on the shoulder. Your time is over. I think it's actually incredible. I think Jocelyn should get the movie tickets for Macbeth right now because this is Macbeth. Turnbull was out winning the war for Abbott. He comes back, he meets a few witches. The witches are like, oh, you're going to be a Minister for Communications. He's like, no, I won't be the next day he's Minister for Communications. And then Mrs. Turnbull gets in his ear and says, well, you could be the king one day. You could be the king one day, Malcolm. And now he's the king. King Malcolm Macbeth. Yes. Oh, it's funny how Shakespeare permeates all.
You don't need to see the movie, do you?
No, you don't.
know
This
from
is it.
Scene to scene.
Of course I know it. I
yeah.
love me Shakespeare. And I love how Shakespearean all of this is, you know. And to talk about treachery. How can there be treachery in politics? Oh no, there's never ever been any treachery in politics until the last few years. What shall we do? Oh dear, isn't it exciting? I think, look, it's all about instant gratification, you know? It's all about your Instagram and your Tinder and your grinding your Instagram. You know, and I just think this is all about instant gratification and these politicians are guilty of it too. So kids, go out there, get what you want, take it when you can because nobody else cares.
Oh, there's a message in there for all.
There's a message in there.
Instant gratification.
Is this a dagger I see before me?
The ALP are going to have to step up a bit now, aren't they?
Elbow.
Elbow?
It's elbow time.
Elbow time?
Yeah, it's elbow time.
I think the Zingers thing on that TV comedian name.
Zinger?
The Zinger that they've talked about shortened zingers, and so they have this whole sect where all these idiotic things that he says as these little catchphrases.
He's going to have to lift his
If
game.
you Google zingers,
If we've going to have a legitimate opposition, he's going to have to lift it.
Oh, well, they've all got their family fortunes to fall back on. Let's not feel too sorry for any of them.
Send us what you think on Facebook or Twitter. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the refugees from Syria. Don't go away. More of Sweet and Sour after the break. See you soon.
hey,
Hey?
I watched
Last Sweet and Sour, the only show you can get away with touching, smelling and tasting your host.
For Sweet and Sour, right here on Sweet and Sour.
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Last letter for the evening. Lion Feed. Dear Sweet and Sour. Australia as a Western nation, has an egalitarian approach to all people, and this has made us a terrifically multicultural nation. While we have some degree of low-level racism here, we generally are a very tolerant society of all cultures and nationalities. The ISIS issue in the Middle East has caused the displacement of many millions of people everywhere, and minority groups are again being persecuted. One of those minority groups is the Christians. This group is largely being ignored as the masses of Sunni and Shia Muslims battle it out to each other's detriment. And whilst there are many wealthy Sunni and Shia Islamic nations capable of taking refugees, we as a Western nation should be sympathetic to the plight of the persecuted Christians as a priority over and above the other displaced groups. Surely we need to step up and insist this approach is the one to take. When push comes to shove and we find ourselves up against a wall, the rule of thumb is always look after your family first. Oh, sounds like a political party. Surely taking in as refugees the persecuted Christians is the same as looking after your own family first. They are our responsibility, or are we going to feed them to the lions again? Greta of Glenelg in South Australia. Who's up first on that one? We're going to Susie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There you go.
Great. Greta, far too simplified, I think. The reality is that, when we talk about Christians, there's a whole lot of breakup of Christians. There's not just Sunni and Shia Muslims. But to be honest with you, it's not about religion, it's about humanity. And to just see some of the things that we've witnessed on television is just so tragic. And I don't know how we identify who we take, but the reality is I don't think we can say that our family are only Christians. We have a multicultural society and we are not just Christians.
I don't think you can even call us a Christian nation
No, I don't
anymore.
think
We're
so.
certainly a Western nation,
And a multicultural nation. We have
which was based on Christian precepts.
But I don't think, I think our family is a number of different religions, and I think we need to take those that need our help. And
She does raise a point, though, that there are other nations and they're not taking many people.
Exactly.
Why aren't they taking?
Well, this is the question. I don't know.
So what does the West do? Just take everybody because no one else is being...
Well, no, I think that it is very tragic that the Muslim countries in the region aren't taking people, but they all have also taken a lot of refugees as well. So look at what Jordan...
Not Saudi Arabia.
No, they haven't.
I wouldn't want to go there either, to be honest.
No, but I also think that I also think we should be questioning why we aren't getting the Syrians that are refugees. Now we know they're refugees are in our PNG camps. Why we're not getting them out and bringing them and integrating them into our community, because they are refugees.
Glenn?
Look, I think it's great of Greta to, with her letter, demonstrate the low-level racism that we experience here. I think she's done a really fantastic job showing us exactly the low-level racism that we experience. I mean, Christians, poor Christians, they've never done anything wrong to anybody, have they? No. Do you know how those people in those countries became Christians? Because the Christians in the Crusades went there and killed a whole bunch of people in the name of their God. That's how those people eventually became Christians. So, here's the thing. We can't feed the Christians to the lions anymore because all the Christians are shooting the lions in those national parks in South Africa and saying that it's, they're all the lions, we're just doing it to help the people. What a crock of shit. I think we should feed the Christians to the lions, but there's no lions left to feed them to. So, you know what? Let's just be people. Let's just take people in. Let's just look after people like they're our own children. I don't give a crap what other countries do. I give a crap what our country does. And I want us to take refugees and have a humanitarian view of this, whether they're Christian, Sunni, Shiite, Muslim, I don't care. Whether they're lions. We'll take the lions. We'll take the lions and we'll house the lions and make sure they're not killed off as well.
Maddie, it's interesting, but everyone I speak to, they've got differing views on this, but very few people are actually doing anything themselves to help this terrible situation. None of us, it's really impacted on none of us, but it will impact on us if we take the amount that we should be taking. How do you feel about it?
Well, they're talking 20,000. So, but I think as a proud Australian, I think, it really gets on my goat when you see bumper stickers that say, we're full, F off. I think that's just narrow-minded. Look, I come from a little migrating family from Egypt, and I'm very lucky to be here in Australia because my father obviously immigrated way back. But I think, Australia's so big and we show a lot of empathy towards other countries that are struggling. We've got plenty of room for people, as long as they're decent people. Sure, people can have their own opinions and their own beliefs, but I think we are in a country today that we're more tolerant of generations than gone by.
We are a tolerant people. Amanda, last word on this one. How do you feel about the situation?
I feel just generally that it's really sad that we seem to be placing less importance and value on the lives of people that are in developing countries. And when everything happened with the film crew being gunned down in America, that got so much coverage, and then all of this was happening, barely got anything at that stage. It's just, what importance are we placing on lives?
Well, I know, and I know they're, not to upset too many people, but, we had the dentist who shot the lion. He was almost crucified for it when there's starving kids all over the world.
Yeah.
Surely we can do a lot more.
We can. we've got to wrap it up because even the credits have come across it. Do you like this letter to give away the pair of limited edition sunnies? Yes, no? Which letter do you like?
James.
James. Who's James? James, I've forgotten about you already.
James.
Not Jocelyn of
Who's
Claremont.
James?
James of Brunswick. Oh, with the
James.
with the dad.
James, yeah.
James? You like
Yeah,
James as well?
James.
Oh.
You know?
James of Brunswick in Victoria, a pair of limited edition sunnies coming out to you. Good luck, Maddie, for telethon.
Thanks, guys. It's been a great panel.
Terrific, mate. Amanda?
Yes.
Good to have you. We'll have you back
Thank you.
soon.
Thank
Yes?
you.
Stay well.
Thank you.
See you soon, yeah?
Fun as always.
We've got to say goodnight. Thank all of our wonderful panellists.
Onward, Christian soldier.
Thank our terrific
That's
crew.
all I
And
know.
thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. Keep waving and singing to Glenn's tune as we say goodnight. Good night, everybody. Thanks for having us at home tonight. Keep singing, don't stop. We haven't gone off yet.
Onward, Christian soldier.
Do you know the words?
Do not kill those lions.